And in the last few moments, Prince Andrew has announced he is to step back from royal duties. This comes amid allegations over his association with the convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein. In a statement, Prince Andrew said, "It's become clear to me over the last few days that the circumstances relating to my former association with Jeffrey Epstein has become a major disruption to my family's work and the valuable work going on in the many organisations and charities that I am proud to support. Therefore, I have asked Her Majesty if I may step back from public duties for the foreseeable future, and she has given her permission. I continue to unequivocally regret my ill-judged association with Jeffrey Epstein. His suicide has left many unanswered questions, particularly for his victims, and I deeply sympathise with everyone who has been affected and wants some form of closure. I can only hope," he says, "that in time they will be able to rebuild their lives. Of course, I am willing to help any appropriate law enforcement agency with their investigations if required."
The strange death of Jeffrey Epstein, the weirdest case of suicide anybody ever saw. Mr. Epstein, the prominent New York financier, serial trafficker of underage girls, a paedophile, a convict in a maximum security jail, which turned out not to have any security at all, at least for Mr. Epstein. It did come as a surprise to the world that he was able to commit suicide in circumstances in which he was under 24-hour surveillance, a guard outside his cell door, people watching on the computer screens his every move. He was a close friend of the Clinton family. He was a close friend of the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. He was a close friend of British royalty, namely the Queen's son, Prince Andrew. Just the other day, one of his victims said that Prince Andrew himself ought to be in prison for what he did to her. He denies, of course, doing anything to her at all. But there has been a strange uptick in Britain of positive film and documentary about the values of the monarchy. I have nothing against Her Majesty, long life to her. But if her sons, who are not even in line for the throne, are accused of serial malfeasance and what would be crimes, it's true they must be properly investigated. And recently on ABC television, we had a whistleblower, perhaps inadvertently, telling us the extent of the pressure that came down on them to kill the story of Jeffrey Epstein, his underage girls, and his powerful friends. And it's all gone quiet on the Lady Ghislaine front. Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of Robert Maxwell, she was Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman for many years, and she appears to have disappeared off the face of the earth. And it appears the FBI or any police force are making absolutely no effort to track her down and question her about the allegations now being made, not just against Epstein, but against her. I accused Robert Maxwell 30 years ago of being an asset of Israeli intelligence. He denied it and poured ordure on me from the front pages of absolutely every one of the newspapers that he owned. Well, within a couple of weeks of his strange and unexplained death, he fell or was pushed off the back of his yacht into the ocean. The yacht was called the Lady Ghislaine. I don't know where this story is going to go, but what I do know is that it's only going to go anywhere. The truth is only going to be uncovered if alternative media continue the forensic, investigative, detective work that they've been doing. Because if we leave it to the Washington Post and the New York Times, if we leave it to ABC, NBC, and so on, the truth will never be uncovered. Luckily, there are people on the trail of the truth. And as we know, in the end, the truth
Allez ma gueule, tu peux le faire. Tout le monde le chèbe. Ils ont abandonné.
Mais c'est pas possible, c'est n'importe quoi cette merde.
I want the democracy and freedom will come Hong Kong, but it seems so far away from us. But still, we would like to fight at the last moment just did it, so I'm not scared now.
因為佢由尋日嘅10點鐘開始，所以大家都好攰啊，筋疲力盡，跟住又物資又開始少，跟住所以就都幾絕望。
Sejak ada air senyum, saya rasa makin diketepikan. Walaupun kalau semua izin pakai air, tak perlukan saya lagi ke?
Kenapa semangat sangat nak kejar aku sampai sini?
Saya harap kamu semua sudah sedia. Kerana misi kita seterusnya akan menentukan masa depan Cyberaya. Bagi tahu apa yang tahu. Ini badan Cyberaya, Doktor. Kita pemaju kemajuan manusia.
Tak tahu dia yang salah tempat ni.
Apa budaya insan?
Ada orang lagi perlukan orang macam kau.
Kita jaga kita. Cakap terang. Aku saing untuk menang.
Memang masa dia tak perlukan aku lagi kan? Ayah, ini bukan pasal kau. Kita ada misi paling penting sekarang. Datuk badan kita dalam bahaya. Kenapa kita kena pisahkan dia kalau dia tak kisah orang lain? Aku tak nak jadi ejen.